Hello, everybody, and welcome to Dead Men Tell No Tales, a Ghosts of Saltmarsh story. I am your DM and storyteller, Tessa. Thank you guys for joining us this evening. I am very excited to be telling a story with these wonderful folks. Let's go ahead and do quick introductions from everybody. I know that a lot of these faces are familiar to you, but if you are tuning in for the first time, let's do a very quick introduction of everybody and who they are playing. We'll go ahead and start with Coral.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Heather. I'm one of the directors here at Nerdsmith. You can also catch me on the Geek Thyself podcast or on Tuesdays here on the Twitch channel on Shenanigans or Monster of the Week, depending on if we have all our players. And I play Coral. She's a Lutradyne bard, and if you couldn't tell from the picture, Lutradyne are sea otter folk here in the world of Vale.
Excellent. Let's go ahead and go over to Crackers.
Greetings and salutations, one and all. My name is Crackers. I am, as you can tell, a parrot. And I play the part of Crackers, the parrot. With me this evening, helping me as always with dice rolls and other less dignified tasks that I choose not to sully myself with, is Matthew. He is one of the creators of Nerdsmith, and you can find more of his work at the On the Land Above podcast, as, yes, that's some of the fun things he does.
Excellent. And Fortune.
Hello, I'm Jay. I am playing Fortune, a tiefling monk. I mostly do this right now, and I did the art for the stream. And I am on Twitter.
And it is all very fine art indeed. Gwilyn.
Hello, everyone. I'm Autumn, also known as Lasalanta Nariel, and I'm an artist and creator with Nerdsmith Network. You can catch me in 2 Nerdsmith streams every Friday, including this one. And I'm playing Gwilyn, the sea elf fighter. And that's about it. You can find my art and other nonsense at my Twitter.
Excellent. And last but certainly not least, Jaffer.
Hi, I'm Zach. I run one-shots on the Nerdsmith Public Discord, and I try to get onto as many streams as I can when I can. I am playing Jaffer, the gnome tinker artificer. She is a lot, and that I can let out right now because she likes to be important. So we'll see how that goes.
Alrighty. So before we jump in, I want to give a quick shout out to our amazing, wonderful sponsors, starting with, of course, World Anvil, the most comprehensive campaign management software tool on the internet today. They are fantastic. If you are a campaign playing crazy person like the rest of us, or a world builder or a writer, they have so many wonderful tools for you to explore. They are also currently doing Inktober, but in a word prompt format. So it's very fun, and you guys should go and check out their community and worldanvil.com. Check out some of their free tools, and if you like what you see, become a guild member and get access to even more amazing world building. And secondly, Die Hard Dice. At Die Hard Dice, you get incredible, beautiful sets of metal dice, all designed by the company in question. And they roll fantastically, they're gorgeous, and they're always coming out with new, incredible colorways. In fact, I think they just announced that on October 8th, they are going to be releasing some Halloween-themed dice, and I may or may not be making grabby hands at them already, because every set they have produced, I have wanted immediately, and it is a problem for my pocketbook, but not necessarily a problem for yours, because I've used up all my coupons, but you don't necessarily have that same issue. If you would like to get some Die Hard dice. Go to dieharddice.com and use the coupon code, I believe it's salty, at checkout for 15% off your first order. Alrighty. Who would like to give us a quick recap?
And everyone stares at the note taker.
Well, since you volunteered.
Okay. So last time here at Dead Men Tell No Tales, we started off with a really angry town meeting because there was question over, in particular, whether or not one of the council members may have been involved in some shady dealings with some pirates who were taking people as well as goods from the town. At the meeting, the council member in question never showed. We waited quite a while and he never showed up. People went to investigate his house and discovered him as well as all of his staff gone, along with quite a few of their personal belongings, though most of the bigger furniture and some of the items worth money had been left behind in the house. Let's see. Fast forward, the council tasked our group with looking into his disappearance, trying to find out more information about the pirates who'd been stealing people and selling them into slavery and things like that, because we've already dealt with a lot of it. And so at the moment, our group knows the most. And we started off by searching all of the house of the council member in question, Gellin, trying to find any information we could. As we looked around, there were a lot of random little things. We did discover a hidden cave beneath his house with a door in the kitchen and a very clearly built pathway to get there. So it's not something that could have really been hidden from him very easily. He must have known. It would have taken a lot of construction. And, I mean, unless he was just that completely not paying attention. Let's see. We did see evidence of that area, the sub-basement, probably having been used for storage, as well as a few small docks down there, and some footprints, and actually some of the fire was still slightly warm. So they must not have been gone for too long by the time we got there. It could have even been that morning, which is when the meeting was supposed to happen. We did find a note saying 400 now, 400 upon delivery, make it count. And while some of us were investigating the house, Crackers and Fortune did go to one of the local bars, the Goat, and find out some information about some gentlemen there who were throwing around a lot of money, and they noticed it was marked with the imprint of the pirate princes. So that's problematic. So much stuff. We looked through some of the other rooms, including the library, and we did find several maps, including a few that show some of the islands that are known to belong or sort of be the territory of the pirate princes. One of them had a message in Infernal written on it that said, "Didn't do it. Come find me, G." And there was a very suspiciously placed stain from coffee on one of the islands in question. So we do know it's a 2-week journey from Saltmarsh to get there. We continued checking everything. We really didn't find anything to indicate that Gellin was automatically guilty, other than maybe that sub-basement. But when we got to his room and we were looking around, we did see signs that perhaps there had been some kind of a struggle. It looked like his sword had been partially drawn, but not gotten all the way out of the scabbard. And he'd clearly been in the middle of writing some letters to various council members and people of town, so it seemed strange that he would have been in the middle of that if he was trying to run and hide. And where we left off, Crackers and the rest of us went back to see his friends at the Goat to ask some more information, and we were able to, Fortune in particular, was able to discreetly knock out the one that was still conscious, and we carried them off with us to the sub-basement for some questioning.
Excellent. Well then, shall we go ahead and set sail? Now, I know that we watched our wonderful intro video before we did our recap today, so thank you again to Angela, the one of the Nerdsmith directors here, for that. It is one of my favorite things about this stream, aside from my wonderful players. And our amazing producer, Logan, behind the scenes, who keeps us all going. So thank you to him as well. All right. So you have gently persuaded your two new friends back to Gellen's estate, or your estate now. The lines are still a little unclear as to who it belongs to entirely. And both of them are currently sleeping off their inebriated selves. What is it that you guys would like to do in the meantime? Are not in danger of waking up anytime soon.
Does anyone else think we should be questioning them when they wake up? We should probably figure out what we're going to ask.
Yes.
Hey. Better to have a
Question
plan.
1. How many uses can you think of for your fingers? Question 2. How many ways can you think of that those fingers might no longer be attached to your hands? And then other questions to follow.
You know, I like where this is headed, to be honest.
It sounds like it would be effective.
How about any useful questions? Like, who hired you? That kind of thing.
Or
Oh, I
we
thought that was
know who
obvious.
hired them. I guess specifics would be good, but no, sort of.
Well, I mean, I assume it wasn't, like, directly the prince's.
That's true. They'd be noticed if they came into town.
So, say there's, like, an official who was kind of filtering through that middleman style.
That's true. You know, I do have to say, even though Gellen's a bit suspicious, it's even stranger that all of his staff is gone as well.
It doesn't look good.
If these are the same people that were imprisoning people and selling them, you know, that's free cattle, if you will.
That'd be my assumption.
It
It's
looked
definitely
like
a
there was
possibility.
some sort of struggle upstairs. If there was, then I don't think he would have sold them out. To be honest, I don't believe that he did anything. Besides maybe the smuggling of the fabrics, but I think we all agreed that was nothing. It's fabric.
Well, likely if they went directly to Gellin and said that we're taking you, come quietly, and then he wrote that note, I think to you. I mean, it was an infernal, right?
Yes.
So
Not
that
too
was
many
directly
people
to
that could be
you.
too-
I don't know many tieflings.
There is a slight noise from behind you as one of them begins to stir.
I draw my light hammer and raise it above my head.
I'm assuming they're tied up, just knowing the group.
Yes.
Okay.
Very tied up. With our many, many ropes.
Mm-hmm. And we're in the sub-basement where no one will hear them. Just in case.
I mean, typically, yes, you do tie up your subs in the basement. It's a good plan. Was that not where we were going with this? I'm sorry.
Yeah, fair.
Anyway. Are they gagged as well, or are they just bound?
I feel like I would have seen enough drunk guys at bars singing in town that I probably recommended we didn't gag them so that they wouldn't choke on their vomit.
That's not a
Because they're
terrible...
very drunk.
Yeah.
So here's a question. Do we interrogate them together or separately just to use that as extra leverage? If one of them thinks the other said more than they did, that might help later.
Right, I think that's what investigators use to do that.
It makes sense to me. So who do we leave down here? The one that's waking up?
Hey, go with the one that's awake.
Yeah.
Put the other one aside somewhere.
There's a loud snore echoing from behind you as the one who is waking is kind of twitching a little bit as his companion is just snoring obnoxiously loud.
Does it sound like it's legitimate snoring, or is it like
Mm-hmm.
a show? Okay.
All right.
He is asleep.
So that one should go in a room upstairs then. And Coral looks at the stronger people.
Agreed. Jaffer grabs him and begins to drag him upstairs.
Glenn helps.
I love Jaffer's can-do attitude.
I'm strong.
Coral's not.
He's a bit bigger than you, though.
Everyone's a bit bigger than me, though.
He could be a bit unwieldy going up the stairs, though.
Not everyone. We've got other gnomes in town.
That's valid.
Crackers is smaller than you.
I'm not counting animals. Not that you aren't people, Crackers.
Oh no,
Well,
I'm
that's
better
me.
than people.
I had a feeling that's what you were going to say.
And now I have reindeers are better than people stuck in my head from Frozen. So thanks for that, guys.
No, we have to change it to crackers is better than people.
I will leave that to Heather and Crackers to write. All right, so you bring the snoring lackey upstairs, and you come back down to the one who is stirring slightly.
Jaffer would stay with him.
What? He doesn't say much, but you can definitely tell by the way his eyelids are fluttering that he is probably on the verge of waking up. And sure enough, as you all make your way back into the room, he kind of mutters under his breath, time is water. And starts to get up and then realizes he's tied to a chair and he cracks one eye open.
Hello, friend.
Glad you're awake.
Morning, sunshine.
How many kinky? As he kind of manages to get his eyes open a little bit more and then realizes this is not necessarily the situation that he had initially imagined himself to be in. Where am I? Who are you?
To be honest, I'm more interested in who you are. You're making a really big show in the town. Who even are you?
Just a dude.
Rather impressive amount of coin you've been throwing around. Couldn't help but notice something rather interesting about where it came from.
So, everybody's allowed to get work. Nothing, no crime against that.
Depends on who you're working for and what you're doing for them.
Particularly the latter.
I really like employers enough to get tattoos for them. I stare directly at it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Jaffa, that's a rather nice hammer you have.
It is. Should I hit him with it?
Should she hit you with it?
She don't scare me.
I think that's a yes.
Yeah, I'll hit him with it. In the knees.
He yelps as you crack him across the knees with the hammer.
Refresh your memory, any?
No.
Now, we were talking earlier about Gellin and his strange disappearance. I feel like you weren't exactly forthcoming with everything you knew. So we thought we'd bring you down here for a chat and you could tell us more.
He kind of looks over at the hammer, looks back at you, kind of tries to size all of you up, and begins to look for an exit.
I wouldn't recommend that. We're a long way down and no one can hear you.
Doesn't seem sporting to have him tied up like this.
Make an intimidation check.
Does he get advantage because of him in the knees?
Yes.
A 23.
Okay. Okay. What do you want to know?
Everything you know about Gellin's disappearance.
We were given instructions to take him out of the city like he left of his own accord.
Why?
Because I'm sorry, you cut out?
What was that last part you said?
It would keep eyes off of what we were doing.
And that is.
Moving cargo.
And by cargo, do you mean people?
No, I mean pearls.
Ah, that.
I don't move people. Well, except for this time.
Galen's people?
Yeah, and Gellin. They wouldn't hear of him going alone. We were told and instructed to leave all of them with him, but they became complications and therefore had to go with.
And these pearls you're moving? Where and why? Why, obviously, the money, but beyond that.
It's just ferrying payment. I'm just a go-between.
Is there anyone else here in town that you go between?
In town? Not that I
In
know of. Most of what I do is done by messenger. Usually, Thraz comes and finds me or Oroville and delivers us a missive.
And who exactly are you moving cargo for?
Thraz's people, and some folks living on an island about 2 weeks away from here.
That's that confirmed.
Like we suspected.
There was some evidence of a large box or something being moved from the upstairs down. What was in that exactly?
Gellin. He's unharmed. I didn't hurt him any.
What about his people? Did you hurt any of them?
No.
And where did you take him?
I took him down to a ship and loaded him on board, and they set sail.
The name of that ship?
It's called Cross Quarter.
And what flag does it fly?
Two red stripes crossed with a black diagonal.
And were they headed for that island you spoke of?
I think so. After they made a delivery to Thraz, I think they were headed out, yes.
Does that flag sound familiar at all?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Both of you can roll me history checks.
It does sound a little bit like Fortune's pants.
Well, I got it at 20, so
Yeah, that
it's a
flag.
total of 19, but I got it at 20.
Yeah, you know
17.
that flag. You know that flag really well. In fact, you know the captain of that ship, Fortune. Well, yeah, that it sounds familiar. You don't remember the ship being called Cross Quarters, but I mean, people amass new ships, I guess.
How well do I know this captain? Is this...
You know the captain's name.
Oh, okay.
In fact, you're pretty sure you sailed under this flag at one point.
Okay.
Thank you for the name, by the way. Excellent timing.
Well, that was very, very helpful of you. I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Tack.
Tack.
Alger Tack.
Well, you've been very helpful. Were there any other questions that we had?
Not at the moment, I don't think. At least not from me.
No.
What use will you be to us now that you are our captain? We're not just going to let you go.
That's a good one.
Well, there's always a city guard. I'm sure they'd like to hear about someone taking a council member out of town.
Aye, they'd love to
Sure.
hear that.
How good are you on a ship?
I'm very good on a ship.
What's your specialty?
Honestly, I'm an excellent galley chef.
And how
Would you-
loyal are you?
There you go.
Well, usually when people aren't hitting me, I'm just fine.
If you're not a good galley ship, I'm gonna hit you again. And this time it's not gonna be a little, slap on the knee.
Noted. I also know how to get to the places if you're going after them. I know how to find where they're going. That's
Do you know how to
something.
Do you know how to navigate through those reefs?
I'm not a navigator, but I at least know the stops that the ship takes on the way to the islands.
That could be helpful.
We could meet them before the islands.
Are we really trusting this person?
That's what I was going to ask.
What happens on the ocean happens on the ocean.
I mean, honestly,
mean like
if he doesn't make it
keel-hauling?
back, he doesn't make it back.
Right. Oh, we hit a
And if he
storm.
betrays us and we all get killed,
Well, then we're bad adventurers.
It's part of the risk.
This guy's tied up. I'm pretty sure I'm not scared about him.
He's not particularly threatening.
You hear a yell from upstairs.
Oh, the other one's awake.
Tack, where are you? This isn't funny.
Is your friend good at anything?
Getting in trouble.
I believe that.
That sounds about right.
Tack, I'm beaten. I'm getting scared. Where are you?
So if we hire you on, and we just turn your friend in, are you okay with that?
I mean, I'd prefer it if we were a pair.
But he's trouble, you said.
Yeah, but he's my trouble.
oh,
Responsibility.
that's sweet.
Fantastic.
Isn't that sweet?
Then, if we're doing this, I'm not gonna speak for the group.
I mean, I know he's claiming that this is the first time, but does anyone else have a concern with the fact that we're thinking about hiring a kidnapper to be the galley chef?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying that we work with him indefinitely, but there is a chance that he could redeem himself. If he doesn't take that chance, he and his friends won't have another. And I look at him meaningfully.
I mean,
I
that's
understand.
true. The other thing is, after all, Tack, was it? Do you have family here in town?
Just Orville.
Is Orville the one upstairs?
Yes.
Does he sometimes have more contact with your messages?
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes he sees Thraz fairly regularly.
All right.
Please don't hurt him.
If he cooperates,
Got any tips to make him cooperate?
Can I roll an insight check?
You may.
I just want to see if we're being manipulated. Eh, 14.
He
Now, why
seems
is
to
this
be
person here.
He seems to be telling you the truth. He seems pretty straightforward. For what you can tell, he's not bluffing.
All right. Well, I don't think he's lying to us, but definitely no weapons.
Well,
And we
obviously.
give him the smallest possible kitchen knives that we could use in a galley.
Tack, if you don't come out from where you're hiding right now, I'm gonna tell Mom!
Who's Mom?
It's my mother.
So is your brother then?
Yeah.
Yes.
But your mother doesn't live in town.
No. She does not. He's got some sort of mumbo jumbo that he can do and talk to her from long distances.
Oh, a spellcaster.
That could be useful. Provided he
dangerous.
cooperates.
He's pretty harmless. He likes people a little too much sometimes and is not the most discerning of folks.
Oh, he's like a puppy.
Yeah, kind of.
I don't like puppies.
What kind of monster are you that you don't like puppies? Who doesn't like puppies?
A bird.
Okay, I understand that.
You think it's ever so cute when they come up and they jump all over you and they lick your face. Well, it's not that cute.
Have to agree with the lick in the face part not being cute.
Well, my brother won't lick you in the face. There's that.
Your brother shan't be licking me anywhere.
I
Okay.
noted. I don't think that'll be an issue.
Well, I should hope not. So, who's going upstairs to talk to the other one?
Oh, we'll all go up together. We can untie this one.
Thank you.
Well, we can at least untie his feet.
Untie the feet. Wait till we've talked to the other one before we untie his hands.
So you untie Tack's feet, and he says that he will sit in the chair if that is what you prefer. If you prefer him to go with you, he will do so. So long as you do not harm his brother, he will cooperate with whatever you say.
See, keeping the other one might be a better idea. Leverage.
So do you take him up with you, or do you leave him downstairs?
He goes up with us.
Okay. As you
In
get
fact, he
upstairs-
goes ahead
go
of us.
Okay. So you watch as Tack goes up the stairs a little meekly, and you come around to see Orville, who is sitting there tied to his chair, looking a little teary-eyed and not unlike a bit of a scared child. As you get closer, you kind of realize that he's maybe 14, 15 at the most. He's very young. Into adulthood, yes, for Saltmarsh, but just barely. As you come up, Tack, that's not nice. I thought you had left. That's not a fun prank. Boy, who are these people?
Not a prank.
Your brother was a bit tied up when you were calling for him.
He looks over at you, Coral, looks at his brother, looks at Gwilyn, looks at his brother, looks at the rest of the party, and just kind of nods. To which Tack rolls his eyes. Not like that, you idiot.
It's not a pleasant experience, believe me. For either of you tonight.
What do you want?
Well, we were
Answers.
after, yes, some information which your brother provided for us.
Does that mean I can go?
Afraid not. He said you might be in contact a bit more with a friend of yours, though, and we'd like some more information about.
I have lots of friends. You'll have to be more specific.
A friend named Draz.
Thraz. Well, Thraz isn't my friend. He's kind of like an employer, but I mean, he's kind of like my friend. We sometimes hang out, but we don't really do anything exciting. It's usually just hanging out while he goes hunting, and I try to learn what he's hunting, but I'm not very good at it because he's got claws and stuff, and I just don't have claws. It would be so much easier if I had claws, I think. You have talons like Thraz does. I don't know your name, but I heard you talk, so you can't be just a bird. Maybe you could teach me how to do it.
What manner of creature is Draz exactly?
Oh, he's a lizard man. Lizard folk. Lizard
Kind of plot.
folk.
And where do you meet Thraz?
Oh, usually we go out to the lizard folk settlement and when we hang out there. They have really cool parties, but that's only when Captain Doran isn't, picking us up or dropping us off. Because if the captain's there, then we don't party, because then the captain's there. And you can't party with the captain because he's stuck-up prickle pants.
I'm sorry, I can't help but be curious. What sort of parties do lizard folk have?
Oh, it's really fun. They've got good music, and there's dancing, and storytelling. They have, competitions to see who's the strongest, and they have, big storytelling competitions. They like to do tall tales, and whoever comes up with the best tall tale is the winner. I'm not very good at it, but I love listening to them. They're really fun. Thraz is very good at telling tall tales.
Okay. And why is Doran working with these people?
Oh, because he's supplying them with armaments.
Why?
To help them in an insurgence. There's gonna be an invasion.
Okay.
Of them or by them?
By them, I think.
Are they planning on coming here?
I don't think so. They would tell me if they were gonna come here. I think Thraz would tell me, because Thraz is my friend. Well, kind of my friend.
I look over at Tack. I see what you mean.
Tack is just kind of like, if he could be rubbing his temples, he would be. But since his hands are tied, he can't.
Do I know of any Captain Doran?
You do not. Fortune, you definitely do.
So where exactly do you think they'd be invading if they don't invade Saltmarsh? There's not that many things around here.
I don't know. I didn't ask.
Of course you did.
I mean, it's kind of rude to ask. I mean, I just do what I'm told. It's not my job to ask the questions.
Mine here, we're just being stupid.
What?
You sold off people. Like, you sold people. Did you do it for the money or just because you were told to?
I don't sell people.
Where do you think Ellen went?
His brother is like behind or trying to, but his hands are tied.
You didn't even tell him.
I thought Gellin went on a ship to leave.
In a chest?
He was in the chest? Tack.
Okay.
Tack is now
You
up
two
against
can
the wall,
have-
like smacking his head into the wall.
You two can have this discussion later. Well, How
You
long
just
has-
said we were here to get the pearls for payment. That's all you told me. You didn't tell me. I thought the chest was full of more armaments for Threz. You didn't tell me there was a person in it.
I'm surprised Gillen was so quiet. Usually armaments don't grunt like he does.
It wasn't very clattery. I just thought we wrapped him really well.
Regardless of,
start?
I know. Regardless of whether you've been moving people on purpose for him regularly or not, the fact remains that the people that are working with Thraz and that keep smuggling everything have been stealing people from Saltmarsh and selling them into slavery for years. You weren't working for good people.
Captain Doran has never, ever taken a person except for this time.
That you know of.
There could have been others.
Well, yeah, I know it.
And Captain Doran's not the only one doing everything in the area.
Well, yeah, I know that. There was the sea ghost or whatever it is. I can't remember the captain's name of that, but they are like super bad people. They're all sorts of trouble.
The Sea Ghost is not one of Captain Doran's ships.
No,
I
it's
can
not.
tell you that now.
No, I know that. Captain Doran doesn't have the sea ghost. The sea ghost is like, man, that's a whole other can of worms.
Well, it's
Cap-
our can of worms now.
Aye.
You guys have been taking people?
No,
We took the ship.
no.
We took the ship and freed the people.
Oh, well, that's good.
And who did the Sea Ghost belong to originally?
Storyteller doesn't have a name for that person because I will come up with one. So at this point in time, Orville does not remember.
Okay.
No, like Captain Doran is like small potatoes, like comparatively. He does honest smuggling, not any of that nonsense.
Until now, apparently.
Okay. So, I guess this makes sense. Maybe they took Galen because if he was smuggling with him, then
I mean, they're friends. Why would you steal your friend?
that Galen helped us find the what's going on. He was one of the people involved in that. Possibly it was getting rid of the one who snitched.
Well, I've told you what I know, so can I go now?
I'm afraid not, but
But
you may have a chance to
Okay.
redeem yourself and go on a little voyage with us and your brother there
Mm-hmm.
to help get that person back and thus clear your record of being involved in that kind of business. Smuggling
People napping or the
Right.
smuggling? Because I like
People
the
napping.
smuggling part, just not the people part.
It's the people part that we're concerned about.
Right.
Okay. That's the part I'm concerned about too.
And that's the part that you should be trying to get off your record by helping us get him back.
Well, I didn't even know I was smuggling people, so I mean, I've gotta fix
Yep.
it.
Your brother knew, though.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell Mom, and you're gonna be in big trouble. There's just kind of this groan of. You're not even entirely sure what the emotion is. It's a little bit of consternation, just resignation and frustration kind of all rolled into one as there's a thunk as he just sinks to the floor and puts his head down because he can't put his head in his hands.
For context, how old does Tack seem?
Tack seems like he might be in his early 20s.
Leading his poor little brother astray.
Do you see my dilemma now?
We can leave them to that, to discuss what they need to discuss. The rest of us, we can report back that we found who we were looking for. It's ready to leave. That's what you plan on doing.
So how are we gonna get to Thraz's place? Y'all have a ship, right?
Yes.
We do.
That's right, you took the Sea Ghost. See, I remember things sometimes. Thank you for the cheer, Geek for you. Alright, so you guys have to go talk to whoever you need to talk to, and Tack and I will hash out the details of how he's a big fat stinky face. And what else would you like us to do in the meantime?
Well, don't go anywhere.
Okay.
Obviously.
Right.
Well, yeah, how would I
Wait.
get you to Thraz otherwise?
Exactly.
Maybe we should just take them with us.
That
Well,
might
they
be
can be-
easier.
They can
If
go
we
with
take
Dal.
them-
Just
We
go
might
with
be
Dal
better
to
off.
get everything ready.
Sorry. Be better off leaving him with Dal, though, yes. I don't think that we should take them to the council because a certain grey area they might want to keep them for questioning instead of letting them go with us.
Well, we don't have to tell the council what they did.
Just that they helped
don't-
us with information.
I don't think we're gonna have to tell them anything. As soon as that one opens his mouth, they'll know it all.
Well,
We
that's
should
why I don't think we should take
gesture
them
it.
with
Oh,
us.
good point, actually, yes.
Leave
Yeah,
them with Dal.
Dol can be a good babysitter.
I don't need a babysitter. I'm all grown up.
Metaphor.
What's a method for?
It's for keeping
That's
your
what she
brother in
said.
line.
All right. So you take the brothers to Dal, and I'm assuming you give Dal instructions to get the ship ready.
Yes.
Correct.
All right, and then where is it that you guys head off to?
the council chambers. Do we need more than 3 crewmen to run that ship?
Yeah, you do.
We really need to look into that.
For a ship that size, you're probably looking at if you do not want to be part of the main crew that is doing things on the ship to keep it moving, you're looking at about a crew of 8.
Interestingly enough, Edda did tell us that if we needed a crew to talk to them, or someone told us to tell Edda,
That is true.
Yes.
Edda did say that she would supply you with a crew if needed.
which is interesting. That's a bit, ahead of the curve, but, whatever.
To be honest, though, if we're gonna hire a crew, given what we've seen so far, I almost feel like we should hire a crew ourselves, just in case.
Would I know anyone who could help with that?
Mm-hmm.
Same question.
All of you have some contacts of who could potentially help. In fact, I'm going to have each of you tell me the name and describe one person that you were picking for your crew. Because with Dow, Tack, and Orville, each of you bringing one person on would be the 8 you would need to fully staff the ship.
Really, though, we just need to capture 5 more people and then convince them to work for us.
Exactly. You see my
You
business
guys
model.
have a good,
It's great.
good scheme there going.
It might be a good idea to have a few people we actually know and trust on the crew, though. No offense, but we don't exactly know you.
Wait, me? Oh, I'm Orville. It's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you, Orville. That's not exactly what I meant, though.
Well, yeah, you didn't give me your name. We can't know each other without me knowing your name.
That's fair. My name's
Jaffer
Cole.
steps up. My name is Jaffer Zanzib. It's a pleasure to meet you, Orville. You're going to be a great asset to our group.
I'll do my best.
As long as none of our enemies ever ask him a question.
No, I'm not
to
good at
find
that.
distraction.
I'm good at that.
That I believe. Gwilyn, nice to meet you.
Speed too. And I've got really good eyesight. I do very well in a crow's nest.
Now see, there he can't get into as much trouble.
Until he falls.
Unless he falls.
Well,
Oh, that's
Even
not
the
a problem.
roll.
Falling's not a big deal.
Yeah, it is. You hit the deck and you break.
Do you know Featherfall then?
do you have spit?
He closes his eyes and starts to hover a little bit off his seat.
See, you'll be fine. That's useful.
Or just learn to fall better.
Or not fall at all?
That's where I'm at. You just don't fall.
Alright. So I'm assuming we all know some people in town who could be helping us. I mean, Gwilyn and I, at the least, I know some sailors in the area.
Oh yeah, some in mind.
All right. So who has their person that they would like to hire and is ready to give me their names and a little description? And I'd also like you guys to think about whether or not you're going to keep the name of the sea ghost or if you're going to change it. If you're planning on changing it, what you would like to change it to. The name of the original captain of the Sea Ghost was Ballard Benson, by the way.
All right. So I have an idea for a person,
Okay?
if that's what we want to start with.
Sure.
So if there's no objections, I know someone who's really good at the helm of a ship, at the wheel. She's a friend of my grand's. She's one of our neighbors. She's not as fast on her feet as she used to be, so she hasn't been spending as much time at sea. But if you need someone good in a storm, she's aces. Her name's, her nickname's Salty Sybil. She spent so much time on ships that she kept coming back with salt streaks in her hair like white streaks, so it just kind of stuck after a while.
All right, so you have Salty Sybil. Tell me a little bit more about Salty Sybil. What type of folk is she?
Let's go with. We haven't seen one yet, so let's go with Tabaxi. A Tabaxi on a ship just amuses me. And Calico Tabaxi.
Okay.
But like the street cat version, like looks like a little beat up over the years kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. And you said she'd be really good at the helm.
Yes.
Alrighty. We have Tack, who is galley chef. Orville, who'll be up in the rigging. Dal, I kind of picture a little bit as the bosun, kind of, if that works for you guys. Okay. All right, who's next?
Would someone who could help with the weather a bit be useful to us on this venture? I might know someone. Via spells.
Sure.
I mean, it's always useful to be able to control the weather when you're out on the water.
Yes.
Right. She will locate, probably via message, once she's somewhere in the area, Varied Abrican, an Earth Genasi storm sorcerer.
Can you spell that for me?
Yes, hold on. V-E-R-E-D. Varied.
All right, perfect. Alrighty, who is next?
I've got someone. All right.
Okay.
I know of someone who is good for just manual labor. He's need that. His name is Steady Hand. He's the Goliath on the docks. It's really hard to miss him. Usually carries things, but I'm sure he can handle anything that needs strength better than probably any of us.
All right. Who is next?
Well, every good ship, I believe, needs a good gaffer to make sure that the rigging is in good order. And as so happens, I know someone rather fit for the bill. Her name is Matilda Ruddyrump. She is a halfling, quite experienced at the seas and other places, but I believe she should be available to join our crew.
Excellent, and I love her. All right, Jaffer, I believe you are our last person to describe a crewman.
Right. I had encountered this individual. His name is Venison, and he is a bugbear. He's really old. He has a grayish fur, and he's been on the seas for a long time, so he's kind of a jack of all trades.
Alrighty.
I trust him.
Okay, so you guys have a crew. So you go off and you gather the folks that you would like to bring with you. Are you guys thinking about changing the name of the Sea Ghost?
I think we should.
Sure, but I don't know what to. I'll put a name out there if you want. There was a ship that I used to be, I was on a long time ago. It was called the Fey Runner. If you want to put there, but it's up to you.
I mean, should we name her something that has to do with her home port now that she's ours?
The Marshmallow?
No.
I've got salty and I'm not sure where you're going after that.
Salty marshmallow.
No. No, we don't necessarily have to use the whole name, but, we could name her the Salty something. The Salty Witch, the Salty Sea. There's a lot of choices.
The salty siren.
I like that.
It's a good one.
My brain just went the Motley Mallow. Like,
That's
We
it.
just put Motley in every ship name. It's beautiful. And I love
so far we have the Salty Siren, the Fey Runner. If chat would like to join in, chat, would you like to suggest a ship name for this crazy crew to be venturing out on? And of course, my players can keep adding names as well.
I'm just trying to think.
Looking at a generator to think up some good words and got the pride of the squid. I don't want to use that, but I just wanted to let y'all know.
the salty squid.
Delicious.
The Lady of the Marsh.
Oh, that's good actually.
It is.
That's not bad.
All right, well, that's 4 out of 5 on the Lady of the Marsh. What do you think, Crackers?
Acceptable.
All right.
I expected nothing less from you.
That's as good as you're going to.
Pretty much.
All right, so you instruct Dal to paint over the Sea Ghost and in its stead dub the ship Lady of the Marsh. So what is it you guys plan to do while the ship is getting ready? Are you guys going to the council to let them know what you found out? Or are you just gonna head on out?
Yes, we should definitely inform the council.
Before we leave, let's go then.
All right. So you guys make your way over to the council building. It is open, and there are folks milling about inside. Council is not in session, but they are chatting, and they seem to be getting along fairly amicably now that Anders has kind of taken a little bit more taken charge of the council. There seems to be less squabbling among the factions, and especially because now there's a little bit more balance with Motley being there too, being unaligned. In fact, as you get in there, Motley has got most of them cracking up at a joke. It's almost strange to hear them all laughing together.
Hello,
Hello,
everyone.
At once.
Oh, well, hello, everyone.
What's up?
Anders greets you all with a very wide smile. Motley comes rushing forward. Oh, hello, friends. It's so good to see you. I'm so happy that you're here.
Hello, Motley.
Have you found anything interesting yet?
As a matter of fact, we did.
Ooh, I can't wait. Let's make sure all the rest are here. Anders, Edda, Manistrad, Eleander, they've got news. And she kind of flutters up into a chair and scoots herself in, and she's a bit rounder in the bottom than Gellin, and so her little metal behind doesn't quite fit in his chair, and she just kind of stretches her wings up and just. She looks like she's on the verge of just like pinging out of it from the forest like a little tiny projectile, but she's determined. And every now and again, her wings flap furiously to push her down further in the chair. Anders says, Motley, would you prefer a different chair? Oh, no, this is fine. Absolutely, totally, 100% comfortable here. And then she leans forward. I'm all ears. Well, all eye, but I'm also ears too.
Okay.
Well, we found a few things that lead us to believe we know what happened to Gillen, and it seems that he was taken by force rather than simply left, as were all of his people.
That is deeply concerning.
Scorch marks and signs of struggle.
And it kind of pipes up. I knew he wouldn't have just left like that. It would be so unlike him.
We have reason to believe that he may have been taken by the pirate princes or others who are affiliated with them. There was a map and a note saying, I didn't do it. And it led... those islands were on the map. We have reason to believe that that's where he may have been taken.
So even with the monarch's ever-growing influence, we're still not safe here from Pirate Prince influence, is what you're saying.
I'm afraid it's looking that way.
Especially with what we've seen of the sea ghost that we've got. I mean, that's a big operation. It's not something that could have just happened overnight. And if what we were told was right, it's been around for years. Who around here could have organized that except the pirate princes? And they had the means and the time.
There's a slight clearing of the throat as you all turn and see Scare Wave Chaser sitting off to one side, as he normally does as Anders' advisor. And he, if I may, I am disheartened by this news that you bring us. I am aware that I am not a council member, and I do not presume to speak for them. This is merely my own thoughts, and I apologize, he turns to the council, for any intrusion of my own by sharing my thoughts. And Anders says, no, please, Scaren, we welcome your wisdom in this situation. It would be very good to hear what you are thinking. And Edda and Eliander nod as well. Well, Manistrad kind of raises an eyebrow like, is this really your place? It seems to me that with the increased levies and taxes that the monarch is proposing as help for paying for his aid in protecting Saltmarsh, perhaps learning that we are not as safe as the monarch believes, perhaps we should be sending some sort of a message back. If this does indeed turn out to be the pirate princes again interfering, surely he wants his investment in the mines protected. And he nods to Manistrad. I can say that would be, of course, any sound businessman or business person or ruler's ideals, but I would say that raising taxes to fund something that does not exist kind of defeats the purpose, don't you all think?
So, they're privateers. What? Hold on. The name that I found, the captain, I'd heard that he was caught. There is no way that he would be on the seas again. Do you think that they were sent here? If there is a threat, then the people would be okay with the taxes, with the extra protection. The pirates make a deal to not be hanged.
And the deal is that they work in security for the princes and then ignore their deal and go right back to doing what they were doing? Is that what you're thinking, Fortune?
Maybe, I don't know. But
neither unheard of nor unthinkable, and concerning if that is indeed what happens.
Even if they're not working directly for the princes, if they know what's going on and they don't say anything, it's just as bad.
I agree.
And I will say, for what it's worth, and I glance at the council, I agree with Scaren. If we're supposed to be paying the monarch more taxes because of the protection they're supposed to be giving us, then the protection should be actually working.
Agreed. Does anyone else have any thoughts along these lines? I would very much like to hear from each of you.
I don't wish to discuss politics at the moment, but if we are to sail forth, are we merely to return with Gellin, or are we serving some other purpose on this voyage?
I would like Gellin to be returned, as well as his people, if at all possible. And any other people that you may find who've been taken would be quite on the mark, please.
Would it be helpful if we had a mark or a writ that said that we were working for the Council of Saltmarsh?
I can arrange that. Not a problem. Edda speaks up. Eleander does too. I'll endorse it as well. So it's not only just the council's blessing, but also the monarch's as well. So you're acting on behalf of not only Saltmarsh, but the kingdom.
Much appreciated.
That's very helpful. Another thing we found out that you should all really know, just in case, is that apparently there's been a lot. I mean, we found some, so you already know about those, but there's been more weapons go into the lizard folk encampment outside of town than we realized. And apparently they're preparing for an invasion.
An invasion of Saltmarsh or an invasion elsewhere?
We don't know.
That we're not sure of. Just a lot of weapons going in.
That's quite alarming.
And they're planning some kind of invasion, and there's not that many things around here for them to invade.
Aye.
Perhaps it would be good for you to pay these lizard folks a visit. Not for any nefarious purpose or any sort of... I would urge you to go with hostilities. Absolutely not at all in your intention. But merely fact-finding, I think, would be quite beneficial.
I suppose we could try.
Sure.
Sounds like a plan.
Yes.
If we're going to be disguising ourselves like some kind of merchant ship or something, though, that's just traveling through, we'd need some goods to put on the ship.
I think that if you talk to Xandros, she could probably set you up with some ideas. Perhaps even bringing them some local delicacies as a peace offering, and not necessarily even having to disguise yourself, just merely as representatives from the town making a mission of goodwill would be even better.
That's another option.
Could be a good one.
Requires less lying.
I do prefer things to be on the up and up. And
Not a
kind
good
of
lie.
nods.
It's easier to keep things hidden when you're not telling a lie on top of everything else.
It's very true.
Well then, I will have those writs ready for you shortly, within the hour, and should you need anything, please do not hesitate to ask. We are happy to help.
Thank you for that.
Appreciated.
Motley pops out of her chair, almost literally, and comes scuttling over to you guys. Do you guys want me? I should get you some food for the journey. Make sure you guys have plenty to eat. I don't know if you have any sort of decent food on this vessel. We should remedy that. Crackers, I'll make sure that you have all of your favorite foods and salads, and I will be right back with a gigantic picnic lunch. How long are you guys going to be gone? That picnic lunch won't last more than... Oh, you'll need several picnic lunches.
About a month.
Give or take.
Sorry, I choked. That's a lot of picnic lunches.
That it is.
We'll need some things.
I
that don't
choked on the
spoil.
oil, sorry. Got a little stuck in the gears.
Any help you could give would be very much appreciated, as always, Motley.
Oh, of course. Absolutely my
Great.
pleasure.
So what would we be taking to them if we go that route?
Well, if they're after some sort of invasion, maybe it's protection they need. We can offer aid. We have plenty of monarch's men here. They are part of the kingdom. Perhaps we should offer them aid with whatever they're doing. And if they are intent on infiltrating us, I wouldn't hurt to have some inside people in there to kind of maybe squash any signs of insurgents before it happens.
One idea to go with that, actually. We could, without letting on what we potentially know about them, just say that we've heard a lot about people going missing and we wanted to come check on them and see if they've lost any people as well, and extend the city's offer of protection that way.
That is an excellent idea.
And based on how they react to that, that could tell us a lot.
Agreed. Good plan.
That's right.
All right, then. I think we have a plan.
I think so. So we just need to supply the ship and then head out when we can.
Collect our extra crewmates.
Perfect. I will have those ready for you and delivered to your ship within the hour.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Should we give you the names of the crew that we're hiring from town so that you can add them to anything, or are you just going to put it to the ship?
I'm just going to
that
put it to the ship.
permission? We renamed her.
Oh, good. What did you name her?
I look at Jaffer.
The Lady of the Marsh. There's no the. Drop them with the. Just Lady of the Marsh.
I like it. It's a good name.
It's a bit wordy, but it works.
We didn't want to keep the name the Sea Ghost
Given
Don't
the
blame me.
connotation.
and what happened on the ship.
Agreed. Well then. Sounds like you guys are almost ready. It's my invisible servant first. Unseen servant, not invisible servant.
Is his name Robert?
His name is Robert.
Is there any chance that we might get some health potions or anything before we head out, given how long we're going to be?
I will see what I can find for you. Before you left to get the Sea Ghost, I think I had given you our entire backlog, but I'll see what I can do.
Thank you for that.
As a
Always
note
good
from
to be prepared.
As a note from the DM, you do now have a cleric in your midst with Orville.
Ooh. That's handy.
Hey,
If you can't supply us with the healing potions, if there's none made, that's fine. But if you can at least give us a couple of healing kits, that'd be helpful.
That I can definitely promise.
It's not perfect and it's not as fast, but it's better than nothing.
Agreed. Though I've seen you after a couple of bar fights, Coral, I think you do quite well on your own.
Girl's got to have her talents. Besides, a bard with a black eye is not very attractive.
Suppose not. You hear from Manistrad, depends on the bard.
I agree with that.
Alright, that's fair. This bard prefers not to have a black eye, so being able to heal myself is very useful. Although
There's
honestly,
that.
with all the fur, they may not be able to see the black eye very well anyway.
That would help.
Yeah, just a bit.
Alrighty. So the council goes ahead and gives you 5 healers kits that they are able to drum up, and 2 healing potions. Motley gives you as much fresh food as won't spoil as possible. She kind of judges what you guys can eat in a day and tries to give you enough supplies that'll last for a while. She also makes sure that you guys have some of her specialty meads and ales. Crackers, including some specially fermented fruits for you, should you want them. And Jaffer, she sneaks in a couple of your favorite pastries as well.
Fantastic.
And then you are also given the writ, which is signed by both Edda and by Eleander. And your ship should be ready to sail. Is there anything anybody does before you leave town tonight?
There is just the small matter, I suppose, of determining who the captain will be among us.
There is that.
I've no desire to be the captain. Personally.
I've never desired to be the.
Been one before. Could go either way though.
I have plenty of experience on ships. I just was not the captain. I don't really prefer that. I prefer navigating. That's it.
A good navigator is very important.
That's true. Did you have an opinion on it, Crackers, since you were asking?
Well, Gwilyn having experience is always useful. Jaffa having ambition also. Let's see, how to settle the matter. Well, there's always rock, paper, scissors, or arm wrestling. Also, could be fun.
I mean, honestly, we've got to sleep at some point, so you could just both be the captain. Take shifts.
I'm fine with that.
No one's going to be awake 24 hours a day.
I'm not
True.
going to fight you for it.
That's fine. I'll be the captain during the day. That's fine.
I like nights. That works out well.
Land you're a
Splendid.
sea elf, you don't have to sleep as much.
And I can see better in the dark.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Very practical.
Alright, so problem solved.
So you captain every other Tuesday, and all. All right. Well, it is currently daytime, so I guess that puts Captain Jaffer in charge for right now, until she is kidnapped by lizard folk. No, I'm kidding.
Right. Jaffer is before they leave her shop, and put like a defer to whoever else for now.
All right.
Gwilyn checks in very quickly with her family, lets them know where she's going, and grabs her read and leaves without being specific about which crew member she's taking, just that she's taking a crew member.
Excellent.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go talk to my gran, make sure she knows I'm leaving, but someone from the council's gonna send people over to help her. And that if she's worried about me, she doesn't have to be, because I'm taking Salty Sybil with me.
Fortune is going to finish writing his letter and include that he's leaving for a bit, but will write as soon as he gets back, and he's going to send it. He's going to send it with 50 gold, and include in there. I included 50 gold. If it's not there, I'll get it. I'm also going to get navigator's tools because I didn't have that in my inventory.
Absolutely no problem. Also, yes, for the record, Admiral Crackers is possibility. You just need several ships before that can happen.
Technically, we have 2.
You do
3.
technically have 3 ships, yes.
Oh, that's right, 3.
We have 2 small ones.
All in favor of Lord Admiral Crackers. Congratulations, Crackers, you are Lord Admiral.
Of our tiny, tiny Saltmarsh fleet.
Yes.
We give the people what they want here at Ghosts of Saltmarsh.
See, it's perfect. We have 3 ships, 2 captains, and 1 admiral. We're covered.
It's perfect.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. So we've got Lady of the Marsh. We could have, what? Lord of the Marsh, Maiden of the Marsh. There's so many choices.
There is. Keeper of the Marsh.
Monarch of the Marsh.
Excellent. All right, you guys board on up the Lady of the Marsh. Are you good? That's a good question. You do have 3 ships at your disposal. Are you taking any of the other ships, or are you only taking the Lady?
Does the lady have a smaller ship already on it to get to and from shore?
It has like a dinghy, a little rowboat. She has a couple rowboats on it.
Okay.
That works for me. Just the one.
Yeah, I mean, if it's got a couple of rowboats, we don't really need the other boats.
No.
Alrighty. So you board up on Lady of the Marsh. You can smell something amazing coming from the galleys. Clearly, Tack has made himself useful. Everything has been loaded for your trip, and everything is fairly shipshape. You have a crew, you have a destination. And I think that might be a good place to leave us for the evening. Thank you guys so much for coming and watching Ghosts of Saltmarsh, Dead Men Tell No Tales. Again, thank you very much to the Nerdsmith crew who help us keep the ship rolling and running. You guys are amazing. We could not do what we do without you guys. Thank you to my amazing, wonderful players who help keep me on task and also certainly crack me up so much that I forget that I'm telling a story. So thank you guys very, very much. You are all amazing. Tune in tomorrow for Hotel Hell, I believe.
Yep.
Which I think
Actually, 2 of us are in it.
Yes. Which 2? I know you're in it, and Crackers, are you also in it, or is Jay in it? Yes. Excellent. So
Matthew
what time is
will
that
be in
tomorrow?
it.
Matthew will be in it tomorrow. What time does that start? My brain is not working at the moment, so I apologize. Is that
I think it's noon.
noon
I
Pacific
think.
Standard Time? Okay. So tune in tomorrow to watch a Descent into Avernus one-shot for 9 Hells of a Good Time here on Nerdsmith. It is an amazing effort with a ton of really fun people. I believe there's 12 DMs, 40 some odd players that's going on right now. It's just madness. So last night there was with Heath from Direbird Gaming ran Logan, our devious Muppet, and 3 of the members of Perception Studios, including our favorite felted friends Chunk and Cucumber, through a hellscape of Avernus, and it was absolutely delightful. So
was
tune in for
fantastic.
more hijinks. I think tomorrow is a little bit horror themed, so I'm very interested and intrigued. I do enjoy a good horror game, which is funny because I don't actually like horror movies, but I love horror games. I'm a strange person. Anyway, thank you guys again. We will be back next Friday at 7:30 for more Ghosts of Saltmarsh. Let's see where our folks land as they disembark from their first journey. And let's see how their journey goes. Is it not more than a day or two, I believe, to Thrax? So let's see how much trouble they can get in between now and then, shall we? All right. Thank you again, everybody. And as always, carry on, you funky little tieflings. Good night, everyone.